Cody Rhodes calls out Paul Heyman before Randy Orton shocks SmackDown. Cody Rhodes just exposed Paul Heyman as the biggest snake in wrestling history. The American Nightmare's brutal verbal assault on the wise man was so personal and devastating that it left Heyman speechless for the first time in his legendary career, but that was nothing compared to the nuclear bomb that Randy Orton dropped when he returned to SmackDown with revelations that are going to destroy everything you thought you knew about WWE's power structure. When you find out what Randy revealed about Heyman's secret dealings and Cody's real motivations, you're going to be absolutely furious at how deep this conspiracy really goes. The sight of Cody Rhodes demanding answers from Paul Heyman in the middle of that SmackDown ring wasn't just another wrestling segment, it was a declaration of war against the most politically connected man in sports entertainment. The intensity in Cody's voice when he accused Heyman of manipulating everyone while pretending to be loyal revealed someone who had finally reached his breaking point with the lies and backstage manipulation that have defined WWE's power dynamics for decades. Paul, you've spent your entire career playing chess while everyone else played checkers, but tonight the truth comes out. Cody's opening salvo against Heyman was delivered with such conviction and specific detail that it was clear this wasn't just scripted drama, this was someone exposing real behind-the-scenes conflicts that had been building for months while fans were kept in the dark about the political warfare happening backstage. But Heyman's reaction to being called out so publicly was what made this confrontation so explosive and uncomfortable to watch. For the first time in anyone's memory, the wise man looked genuinely rattled and unprepared for the level of personal attack that Cody was unleashing. His usual smooth talking and political deflection tactics were completely ineffective against someone who had obviously done his homework and come prepared for war. The most shocking moment came when Cody revealed that he had been documenting Heyman's double-dealing and backstage manipulation for months, including private conversations where Paul had allegedly promised different wrestlers the same opportunities while secretly working to undermine their chances of success. The specific nature of these accusations suggested that Cody had inside information that could destroy Heyman's reputation permanently. You told Roman one thing, you told Brock another, and you told me something completely different, but I've got proof of every lie you've spread. Cody's revelation that he possessed evidence of Heyman's duplicity sent shockwaves through the SmackDown audience and made it clear that this wasn't just about wrestling storylines, this was about exposing real professional betrayal and manipulation. Heyman's attempts to deflect and minimize Cody's accusations only made him look more guilty and desperate, as his usual arsenal of smooth talking and political maneuvering proved completely inadequate against someone who had clearly prepared for this confrontation with facts and documentation. The sight of wrestling's most silver-tongued manipulator being reduced to stammering denials was absolutely devastating for his credibility. But just when it seemed like Cody had completely dismantled Heyman's reputation and exposed him as the fraud he really is, Randy Orton's music hit and the Viper appeared with a microphone and an expression that promised even more shocking revelations. The crowd's reaction to Randy's unexpected appearance was electric, but nobody was prepared for the nuclear bomb he was about to drop. Cody, you think you know the whole story about Paul Heyman? You don't know anything yet. Randy's opening statement immediately shifted the entire dynamic of the confrontation and suggested that whatever secrets Cody had uncovered were just the tip of an iceberg that went much deeper than anyone had realized. The confidence in Randy's voice made it clear he possessed information that would make Cody's revelations look minor by comparison. The most explosive revelation came when Randy announced that he had been working with WWE management to investigate Heyman's activities and had uncovered evidence of financial arrangements and backstage deals that violate every principle of fair competition. The implication that Heyman had been involved in potentially illegal or contract-violating activities sent the entire arena into stunned silence. Randy's systematic destruction of both Cody and Heyman was absolutely masterful as he revealed that Cody's investigation into Paul's activities had been encouraged and supported by people who wanted to use the American Nightmare as a weapon against someone they couldn't attack directly. The revelation that Cody had been manipulated into doing other people's dirty work was almost as shocking as the original accusations against Heyman. Paul's not the only snake in this company, and Cody's not the hero he pretends to be. Randy's attack on both men simultaneously created a three-way conflict that nobody saw coming and revealed layers of deception and manipulation that extended far beyond what anyone in the audience had suspected. The complexity of the political warfare was absolutely staggering. The psychological warfare that Randy employed against both Cody and Heyman was brilliant in its strategic targeting of each man's specific vulnerabilities and public personas. He attacked Heyman's reputation for loyalty and reliability while simultaneously undermining Cody's image as an honest and straightforward competitor who had earned his success through hard work rather than political maneuvering. But the most devastating aspect of Randy's intervention was how it revealed that the entire confrontation between Cody and Heyman had been orchestrated by outside forces who wanted to eliminate both men as threats to their own power and influence within WWE's hierarchy. The realization that everyone involved had been played by even more sophisticated manipulators was absolutely mind-blowing. The backstage implications of these revelations are staggering for WWE's entire power structure, as Randy's accusations suggest that multiple layers of deception and manipulation have been affecting booking decisions, championship opportunities, and career advancement in ways that fans never suspected. The corruption apparently extends far beyond individual performers into systemic problems with WWE's management culture. Industry veterans are calling this one of the most shocking exposed segments in wrestling history because it blurred the lines between entertainment and legitimate business conflicts in ways that made it impossible to determine what was scripted storyline and what represented real backstage politics being aired in public for the first time. The crowd's reaction throughout this segment was intense and constantly shifting as each new revelation changed their understanding of who to support and who to condemn. The organic confusion and emotional investment demonstrated how effectively the segment had captured genuine uncertainty about the motivations and loyalties of everyone involved. Paul Heyman's reputation as wrestling's most trusted advisor and political operator has been fundamentally damaged by these public accusations, regardless of whether they prove to be true or false. The mere suggestion that he has been playing multiple sides and violating trust has created doubt that may be impossible to overcome in future business relationships. Cody Rhodes' image as an honest and straightforward competitor has also been compromised by Randy's revelation that his investigation into Heyman was encouraged and supported by other people with their own agendas. The possibility that he was being used as a weapon rather than acting independently raises questions about his judgment and political awareness. Randy Orton's positioning as the voice of truth and exposure in this situation is particularly interesting because it represents a character evolution that combines his legendary unpredictability with a more mature understanding of WWE's political landscape. His ability to see through everyone else's deception and manipulation makes him more dangerous than ever. The financial implications for WWE are potentially massive if these accusations lead to legal challenges or regulatory investigations that could expose additional problems with the company's internal operations and management practices. The risk of government scrutiny or legal liability creates business pressures that extend far beyond entertainment value. Social media reaction has been explosive, with wrestling fans expressing everything from shock to anger to confusion about the complex web of accusations and revelations that emerged during this segment. The polarized response guarantees continued discussion and engagement that will drive viewership and social media interactions for weeks. The long-term storytelling possibilities created by these revelations are virtually unlimited, as the multi-layered conflicts and shifting alliances could sustain compelling television programming for months while providing opportunities for character development and plot twists that keep audiences constantly guessing about motivations and loyalties. Quick question for the comments: do you think Cody Rhodes was genuinely trying to expose corruption, or was he being manipulated by other people to do their dirty work? Let me know your thoughts below. And here's another one: which of these three men, Cody, Paul, or Randy, do you think is telling the most truth about what's really happening backstage in WWE? Drop your opinion in the comments. 12 minutes worth.